Well, it was the result of having multiple pastors tell me essentially the same story about quoting the Sermon on the Mount parenthetically in their preaching. Turn the other cheek. To have someone come up after and say, where did you get those liberal talking points?
Wow, that is something. That is the voice of Russell Moore, the editor-in-chief of Christianity Today, talking to NPR about partisan tribalism that has seeped into Christianity for the first time, probably. There's never been any political stuff in there, but that is wild. Hearing people say like, "Oh, you're quoting Jesus." Not for me, and it actually kind of gets worse. Listen to this.
And what was alarming to me is that in most of these scenarios, when the pastor would say, I'm literally quoting Jesus Christ, the response would not be, I apologize. The response would be, yes, but that doesn't work anymore. That's weak. And when we get to the point where the teachings of Jesus himself are seen as subversive to us, then we're in a crisis.
Now, look, I like, people who don't just believe whatever they're told to believe. I like rebels and all that, but if you are a Christian, I think you're supposed to largely agree with Christ. I think that that's like kind of a big part of it. I'm an atheist, but I feel like if you're a Christian, Christ is pretty central. So if he says something and your gut instinct is, nah, that's weak, let's do something else, you can do that, but I don't think you're a Christian at that point. Anyway, it's not up to me, Mondale, to be clear, but I find this battle inside of Christianity to be fascinating. What do you think?
I mean, this is not a new battle. I mean, this is this is not something that's just solely right here. We've seen so many people misinterpret what it means to be Christianity or what it means to be Christian. I mean, it was people in their Sunday best that used to hang black people from trees as a family event and cut off body parts and take it home, right? It was in the name of God. But this is also where people forget that, Paul, the doctrine of Paul in the Bible gives space for, slavery and all the other things. And I don't want to make this into a biblical conversation, but we should really understand that white Christianity has never really been about the teachings of Christ. It's more about the teachings of Paul. So I could see where this delineation happens, where people, you take out Jesus' name and say words, and then I can see white Christians, especially Southern white Christians, disagreeing, like this is not my Christianity. And we talk about that a lot, about the difference between white Christianity, especially in America, versus what black Christianity is. For us, those of us that are black nationalists and also black Christians, the gospel is supposed to be the ointment that soothes the suffering of people that are oppressed, that live with their backs against the wall. And white Christianity has never been about that. It's been accepting of slavery. It's been accepting of oppression century after century. And so I'm not surprised that this guy is speaking about Jesus in this manner, about what you do for the least amongst us. So that would already create a problem, because Donald Trump would find it extremely hard to be the person that Jesus talked about, right? It would be hard for Donald Trump to get to heaven as Jesus said it, right? But these people don't seem to believe that. They think they're supposed to give more to Jesus, more to Donald Trump than they are the church, as they support his legal fund.
I don't know exactly what they would do to you if you brought up the whole, the fitting a camel through the eye of a needle or thing or whatever. But like, I imagine crucifixion would be on the table at that point. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's super specific that just gets cast off. And I don't know, definitely, I liked your comment about how, it's supposed to be like a salve for people who are victimized and, all that. But they've found something, and by they, I mean some conservative Christians have found something that they like more. It's just like virulent white supremacy, which is simultaneously both a narrative that you are a victim, but also that you are inherently better than all the people victimizing you. So it is its own like subjugation and solve at the same time. And that's what he's presenting. And so it shouldn't really be any surprise that these people, they do worship Donald Trump more than Jesus at this point. Not a lot, but some, like they like his message better because it's much better tailored to the sense of victimhood that they find for some reason to be so appealing.
Yeah, I mean, these are the same people, John, and you know this. These are the same people that will skip church on Sunday if Donald Trump's in their town. Let's be clear. They're also the same people that talk about the Democrats weaponizing different federal agency because they are prosecuting Trump for crimes they committed. But they also are telling if Trump wins, he's gonna go after these people using the Department of Justice. So they have no problem with it when they're in the seat where they need to, victimize or weaponize our industries for people being their opponents, not for breaking laws. And I think the hypocrisy is on display every time somebody writes or speak on it in this manner.
What's interesting about this is obviously he's critical of the effect that Trump and Trumpism has had on them. Trump has actually talked about it before. Back in 2016, he said, Dr. Moore, Russell Moore is truly a terrible representative of evangelicals and all of the good they stand for. A nasty guy with no heart.
It says the guy.
2016. Says the guy what?
Says the guy that says 2 Corinthians. Like you don't even read
2 Corinthians.
Like it's 2 Corinthians, my favorite book.
And what are you more like a New Testament guy or like an Old Testament guy? Both. I get both have their appeal. He doesn't know the first thing. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't care anything. He has so little respect for Christians that he won't even put effort into duping them. He does the duping, but with no effort whatsoever. I swear to you, conservative Christians, that if I ever try to get rich off of your backs, I will put minimal effort into it. I will learn a favorite verse or whatever. I will lie to you. I'm really more of a New Testament guy personally. I will do that for you, but no, not Trump, the guy who separated the families and banned another religion and has obviously had a bunch of affairs and has sexually assaulted people and all of that stuff that should probably rule him out as being the favorite of evangelicals. But why would they have standards for him? They love Marjorie Greene. She's a good conservative Christian. She was just standing on a stage laughing when people were talking about killing their political opponents. Like it's all turned upside down. Anyway, Dr. Moore is probably not gonna be able, or Russell Moore is not gonna be able to, right the ship necessarily, but it's not my ship. If you guys wanna have a Christianity that, is worth what it claims to be, you can't follow false idols like this. Anyway, I mostly just say this stuff to bother Congresswoman Greene if she's still watching.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.